Are you ready to try a new leafy green? Well, let me introduce you to Swiss chard. I'm Susan Bowerman, registered dietitian, and I'd like to introduce you to a green you may not know. It's called Swiss chard, and I'm going to show you a really quick and easy way to cook it. Let me show you some of the chard I picked from my garden this morning. If you go to the market, you might see different colors, red and white and yellow. It's so beautiful. And when you pick your chard, what you're going to see is it's got this pretty big stem in the middle. So I'm going to show you how to prepare these leaves for cooking. The main thing is that this stem here, I usually just cut off because it's pretty tough. Now some people might keep this and maybe put it into a soup or a stew, but I'm not going to include that because it's just a little too tough for my taste. But what you want to do is we want to get rid of this rib down the middle. And what I usually do is just fold the leaf in half and take my knife and just cut it down like that. The leaves themselves, I'm just going to chop in big pieces like that. And then this little stem part that I cut out of the middle, I'm going to just dice this up very, very finely, like that. And that's how I'm going to prepare this part and the leafy part. So let me show you what I'm going to do because I have it all ready to go. So over here, I have my leaves. What I've done is I just rinsed them. I put them in my salad spinner to dry them a little bit. There's still a little water clinging to the leaves. I've taken my stems and I've chopped them. And the only other thing I'm going to add is just a little bit of red onion. So here's what we're going to do. My skillet's hot. I'm going to put in just a drizzle of olive oil. And I'm going to cook the stems first. And the reason I'm doing that is because the stems are more tough. So I want us to start sauteing those to soften them, along with my red onion. So I'm just going to stir these for a few minutes before I add the leaves, just so that they have time to soften a little bit. But what's nice is this adds so much color to the dish. And that's all, just a minute or two. And now I'm just going to add my leaves. And again, I'm not adding any water or anything to my skillet. There's enough moisture on these leaves that they'll be able to cook. And then I'm simply going to cover it and I'm going to let it steam. It's just going to take a couple minutes. You only want to really cook it long enough for it to wilt. Now, when it's finished, you're going to have this incredibly nutritious side dish. Swiss chard is one of the richest sources of vitamin K. It's an excellent source of beta carotene, which your body uses to make vitamin A. It's a good source of vitamin C. You also get minerals like potassium and magnesium and copper, and it's delicious and it's low calorie. If you haven't used it before and you're a little shy, you can use this same technique on other greens. You can try this with kale, you can try this with turnip greens, mustard greens, spinach. If you don't like onions, try garlic, or leave it out. But this quick steaming method is just such a wonderful way to cook it because you just basically rinse your leaves, put them in the skillet, and cover them. We're almost done. Just another couple minutes. What you can see is the leaves are starting to wilt, and you just want to get them soft enough so that they're tender, but you don't really want to overcook them because you want to keep that beautiful, beautiful bright color. And it's going to be done in just a moment, and basically that's it. The only thing I'm going to put on it when it's finished is just a sprinkle of salt, maybe a few twists of pepper if you like. And that's it. So I'm going to turn my heat off. I'm going to add just a sprinkle of salt to my chard. And you can see how beautiful it is. By the way, I'm using a heat-proof spatula, so you want to be sure to do that when you're using your skillet, or use a wooden spoon. Probably not metal because you don't want to scratch the non-stick surface. But you can see how pretty this is. And I only used the one with the red ribs, but you can imagine if you mix up the red and the yellow and the white, you've got this beautiful, colorful, delicious side dish. So if you've had enough kale for a while, maybe you want to try something new and try some Swiss chard.